Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Sunday, September 22nd, 2024. My newest segment of Markets and Look Ahead, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to actually look out a little further here. Why are we doing that? Because I know what's going on with regard to all of these videos with Shocktober, and this is it, the big crash next month. We're going to talk about that. You can't escape this. I understand what's going on here. There's this a phobia with regard to October, obviously because of its record, but it's just completely unfounded, especially right now. So what I'm going to do right off the bat is tell you that I understand that this guy and this girl, blah blah blah, out here on YouTube are all saying this is it. Next month, big crash. I'm going to take the opposite side of that trade. It's just not going to happen in the face of what we're seeing right now to an extreme. And I'm talking about what the Fed's doing here, buying it all, currency devaluation, artificially suppressed rates. There's just no way. Every mechanism you can dream about, think about, fantasize about is going to be thrown at this market to prop it up, right up until the presidential selection. So just stop, okay? Look, you really got to consider so many things. I get that. But you also have to think about what's happening here. And the only thing, one, that matters right now to this thing that we're in is easy money. As a matter of fact, next week, we're going to get a slew, I'm laughing, a slew of economic information, data. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of it. First of all, it's all fake. It's all fabrications. These numbers are just not real. And yes, I will continue to cover them. But all that matters right now is just one thing. Is how much easy money is going to be pumped into this market, and what the effect of that is going to be. Are we on the same page? I really hope so, because look, man, I consider it, again, my job, my responsibility to come out here and give every single one of you actionable information. Not just information you could, frolic around your desk or just whatever it might be. I want you to consider the stuff that we talk about all the time. Ponder it. Say, hey, you know what? This makes sense to me. This doesn't make sense to me. And then, again, take action. This channel isn't for entertainment, believe it or not. Yes, I can get a little zany from time to time. That's a coping mechanism. You know that. Some people can't handle it. Why is Greg acting like that? You know what? If you don't like it, you don't need to be here. I'll be honest with you. But look, I believe with all I got that the stuff that we cover here is critical information. It allows us to stay ahead of the curve because we're being destroyed. They are looking to wipe us out. They, collectively, the central banks, the ones who run the entire show. And again, going back to the economic data that we've been getting, that we're going to get this week, just say, like I said, we'll talk about it. But there is no effect, none, zero, on what the market does or does not do. There's no connection here. You remember this from I don't know how many years ago, a decade? We said, okay, this is where it's going to go here. The market's going to keep inflating. In fact, it's going to hyperinflate on the back of what we're going to see with regard to global debt, currency devaluation, and of course, artificially suppressed rates. It's unbelievable. And this mechanism is just going to get even worse by exponents moving forward. And the illusion of the market, again, is so powerful. People look at the stock market and they go, oh, look, the economy must be so strong. You can't make it up, man. Anyway, so let's cover some of this stuff. So look, just to say this one more time, Greg Mannarino here, all right, and I would be willing to bet that the real lions on this, who follow this blog, there are some people masquerading as lions out here. I mean that. They make cash off of my calls, and then they blame me that they're not making enough. I mean, make it up, okay? But that's actually what's happening here, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you follow my newsletter, I did a whole piece on, I know the complaint desk is closed. I just want to bring this stuff to your attention, that there are some people who follow, and probably a lot, who follow this blog that masquerade as lions, and we know who the real lions are. Anyway, so let us move forward. So this is an interesting take. This is our lovely, beautiful friend Jamie Dimon. You know, the creature from J.P. Morgan, the guy. But here's the truth. All right, this is what he had to say. So Jamie Dimon, only 5% of everyday Americans probably only 5% probably know what just happened with regard to the Federal Reserve, what's about to happen to them. People are being boiled because they've been so absolutely dumbed down. They don't know which end is up, down, backwards, sideways, or inside out. They have no idea. So they're easily manipulated. They're easily taken advantage of. They're told where to look, what to do, how to think. I mean, you can't make it up. They're incapable, seriously, of functioning outside the realm of what the propaganda ministry of the news tells them, because it's all true. It's coming right out of that tell-lie vision, so it has to be true, and they don't realize that they're being programmed. So honestly, this is a fact, and I think he's being generous here. Most people have no idea of why things are the way that they are. Why we're seeing this inflationary environment and the economy in free fall. Meanwhile, they're being told how great it is. We're the envy of the world. You remember that? That was our illustrious Biden. Yes, we're the envy of the world right now. Couldn't possibly be better. But of course, he's telling you the truth. That everything you hear out of that box in your house, it's all true. It's all true. Anyway, so this is why people, they can't stand up for themselves, because they don't have a leg to stand on, because they don't even know what the heck is going on. Duh. Pretty obvious, right? Let us move forward here. So you got this Powell's balancing act as the Fed cuts rates amid economic uncertainty. What we can be absolutely certain of is this thing is going to get much worse. The worse the economy gets globally, and we are contracting. The world economy today, people, is contracting at its fastest pace that has ever been seen on record. Meanwhile, central banks are ballooning the money supply. What does that tell you? Does that alone tell you what you need to do here? Bet against the debt, become your own central bank, get out of a central bank issued currency, any of them. They're all being systematically wiped out. It's a race to the bottom, man. Duh. You can't possibly think, anyone, that this is the right place to be. I'm saying with regard to being in central bank issued notes, cash, or you gotta get out of it. You gotta find somewhere else to put your cash to work here. Otherwise, you're gonna be wiped out, because that's their goal, is to destroy you. I think we're on the same page. Let us move forward here. We have a few more things to cover. So let's look at this Market Watch. Stocks head for first September gain in 5 years, and why? More good times. Good times. Good times. Really, this is what I'm talking about. People look at their 401ks, they look at their investment plans, and they get all giddy and tingly all over, because they just love looking at that. Again, this is not real. It's astonishing to me. People look at their investment plans. They see digits on the screen, and those digits are real. They're actually real to them. They're not real. Okay, these are illusions that are being created along with everything else here. Whatever gains that may be showing up in our investment portfolios, okay, we've done incredibly well here. On paper, me and my lions out here, if you're not pulling that cash out of your accounts and converting that into something else, these are not realized gains. You all know that. These are just illusions sitting there on a screen. But those illusions, people love to live in an illusion. This whole thing is an illusion. That's why you got the television, the programs telling you what to think and how your brain should work. You can't make it up, but that's exactly what's going on here. Anyway, I think we're on the same page. So why more good times lie ahead? Well, let's see. This is what our lovely favorite bank on Wall Street has to say. Bank of America, get out of this one, man. This institution is going down. I think it's going to be the scapegoat here. I've been telling you this for, I don't know, for years, with regard to Wall Street, when this whole thing actually becomes very real, and it will. So Reuters, Bank of America expects aggressive Fed rate cuts in Q4 moving forward here. Oh, well, they already told us. This is just almost too stupid. Because again, the Fed people. Let me just say this one more time. I have never ever seen anything like this before in all the years that I've been decades that I've been studying the Federal Reserve. I have never seen a simultaneous release of information like that before. Last Wednesday, the FOMC conclusion with a dictate monetary policy to all of us because they're our overlords. Yes. I never saw it before. The second they say, okay, we're cutting rates 50 basis points, simultaneously they say, okay, this is what we're going to do throughout the rest of this year and even into next year. Massive currency devaluation, artificially suppressed rates, distortions across. So honestly, why more good times lie ahead? Of course the market's going up. You can't make this stuff up. So forget the freaking Shocktober fear that people are spreading out here. So Bank of America, here we go with this. Now, let us move a little bit more forward. Oh, let's look at this first. So, commodities, people, you know what Greg's been telling you. If we understand, again, look, let's put this together again for maybe those of you that are new here. And there's a bunch of new people here. If we understand, and this is, I mean, we're not speculating. This is a lock, 100%. Fed is in here, joining the European Central Bank, the Swiss National Bank, the Canadian Central Bank, and other central banks too are going to jump on board, cutting rates. Of course, that means a weaker currency. What does that mean for commodities? Dude, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer on a grand scale. I'll tell you something else that's a no-brainer here for my real lions out here. If we understand that this mechanism of rate cuts is going to, according to the Fed, the rest of this year, according to Bank of America, very aggressive. You see, they can't say quantitative easing. It has to be rate cuts. It has to be easing. It can't be quantitative because people will go, wait a minute. Where did I hear that one before? Oh, yes, during the meltdown of 2008. But why are they doing the same thing? Why is emergency monetary policy being instituted now if we're the envy of the world and our economy is just so great? You see what I'm talking about? People can't do that. They can't, these words have power. I've told you this so many times, so they got to be very careful. But with regard to what we're going to see moving forward, this is a no-brainer for my real lions out here, not the masquerading lions that the wannabe lions. There's a lot of wannabe lions and whiners. They whine. Greg is not making me enough cash. He's making it easy for me to make cash, but it's not enough. You can't make this stuff up. You know, imagine what people would have to pay for this. Anyway, so if we know that this is going to happen here moving forward, aggressive rate cuts here, and they've already told us, so we don't have to guess. What sector here of the market do we really want to be focusing on? Well, we want to be focusing on tech. Tech benefits from this, and I believe that, again, the NASDAQ has been the laggard. We just hit record high with regard to the S&P 500 and the Dow. The NASDAQ is the laggard, and I think that's, again, a place where you and I need to start putting cash to work. You already know I am building up a position. I started building my position in JEPQ a while back, and I've been building it, and just like many of you, Wednesday, where I said look, we've been buying the dips, every single dip that has come along for years. And to say the least, lines, come on, man. It has paid off in a massive way. Lovely, beautiful. Now, we held fire for about 3 weeks, building up a larger cash position. We got in here on Wednesday. Nothing really happened on Wednesday because of the simultaneous release of information. If they didn't do that, I sincerely believe the market would have taken a hit. Not a big one, but it would have been a better opportunity to buy. But the Fed didn't want the market to fall. They wouldn't allow it to happen, so we got the simultaneous release of information. But what happened? The next day, freaking Dow puts on like over 600 points. The S&P 500 took off. The NASDAQ was the biggest gainer. And we did well. But people were complaining, Greg didn't make me enough cash. I got to play with these people. I'm sorry, man. They just make me laugh. But anyway, going back to what I was saying. This is a no-brainer, and don't just take my word for it. Again, do your own research on this. Artificially suppressed rates is going to push tech, the entire sector, higher. So I think we need to, again, put more cash to work. And, with regard to tech, there's a lot of great opportunities. I'm looking at JEPQ. I like the cash flow, the monthly dividend. I think it's the right place to be. I also believe with all I got in every fiber of my being, the commodities, again, going back to this, because I've been telling you about commodities for 1,000 years. It seems like 1,000 years is the way to go. Silver, obviously, the most undervalued asset on the planet, according to me, just based on some very rudimentary, simplistic math here, looking at the Dow, gold ratio, gold, silver ratio. It's a no-brainer, man. Silver's the place to be. Gold comes in second. Platinum, palladium, I would say an equal third. Crude oil. You need exposure to commodities. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, I reposted, go look at this, it's in your inbox right now, if you subscribe to my free newsletter down here, a list of 5 exchange-traded funds which will give you exposure to commodities. Now look, this is not a complete list by any measure. It's just a few of the top ETFs that you might want to look at. Look, I got your back. You all know that. I won't let you down. Even the fake lines out here. Anyway, look. So let's just one more thing before we go. We understand what's going to happen. It's not going to stop. Let's have a look here at the Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, the MMRI. Again, free to everybody. I don't make a dime off of this. I'm not trying to sell you nothing, all right? Because like, Greg, you can't make this stuff up, man. We get a lot of detractors because we are so on target. You understand? And there's got to be people out there, whether they're bots or not, that try to make us, this community, look bad. They can try all they want to, okay? It ain't working. It's not working. It can't possibly work because we've been light years ahead of the curve on all this stuff. And this tool is an amazing one. That's why it's free, okay? The best things in life are free. There is a link in the description of this video. Again, not just squiggly lines. We're able to see in real time what's going on here with regard to currency, the dollar being destroyed, the Fed buying it all, freaking yield curve, unbelievable yield curve control going on right now. You know, I'm just looking at this morning, considering what's happening. We've had, I mean, this is nuts, watching this drop here. I'm wondering if we're going to stabilize here for a while. The market seems to be very comfortable. Obviously, we've seen record high lately with risk where we are. Again, I color-coded that for you. You see that? Me and my buddy John Rusk, who actually put this in, made this come to life here, because I have no idea how to actually do this stuff, but this calculation here. And again, going back to that, I did hear a lot from a whole bunch of you in other parts of the world. Hey, Greg, do you mean I can just replace some of the metrics in there and use it wherever I want? Of course you can. It's too simple. This equation here will work with wherever you live in the world. Whatever is your currency index, you put that in replace of the dollar, and whatever your benchmark rate is, that's it. And the MMRI will work wherever you are in the world. And I urge you to do that. It's a very simple calculation here. So just utilize that wherever you are in the world, and we're all going to be happy. Look, that's what all I want is for you and I to realize how dangerous the situation is here. Okay? They want to kill us, and I mean in the literal sense. They're destroying us all, the middle class. This is an extinction level event globally. Okay? If we understand that, if we do not do something about it, we're going to go down the toilet with the rest of this thing that's already in the toilet. You understand? And this is not by accident. This is not a comedy of errors. This is by design across the board. Does that make sense to you? So if we're not trying to at least stay ahead of the curve here, even slightly, and we've been way ahead of the curve, you're going to get melted down. You're going to actually lose bigger than you can possibly imagine. Now, with regard to this market, just real quick, there's no reason, zero, to get fancy here. It's too easy, and I've been telling you that forever here. The central banks, in this case the Fed, none more so, has made it so easy for us. And I'm not just talking about the stock market. I mean the entire market here. To realize what's going to happen. They're promising us lower rates. We're hearing the same thing out of Kamala, and out of the big T, out of both of their mouths. We promise you lower rates. Of course, weak currency. So again, it's too simple. It's too simple. So with regard to commodities, if we understand this mechanism is going to continue, what do you want to do? Obviously, you need exposure to commodities. And this is a no-brainer. Market couldn't be easier as well here. With regard to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, you know my take on this, people. We haven't seen anything yet with regard to where that's going. And you and me, the real lions out here, not like the masquerading lions, we're attacking this from every angle. Every freaking angle You can imagine that's what we're doing. It makes us very, very, very strong. You understand? I think we're on the same page here. At least I hope we are. So what are we going to do? The beauty of this is we don't deviate at all. Okay, and I understand. Again, I want to bring this up one more time. Many of you have, hey Greg, have you heard what this person's saying? I'm not even going to bring it up who they are, okay? Because I don't want their videos to get any attention. I'm being God's honest with you here. I do not want people listening to nonsense with, oh, October, the market's going to crash in October, and it's all over, and we better run for the freaking hill. It ain't happening. There's no way it can happen unless there's a nuclear explosion somewhere, some way outlying event, which I don't believe is going to happen anyway, because all this stuff is all orchestrated as well. Okay, the goal here right now by the Fed, especially, and central banks around the world, is to prop up the markets here in the United States until the selection. After the selection, all bets are off. All bets are off. We'll talk more about that when we get closer. So again, I am taking the complete opposite side of the trade from what this guy or this girl or these things are trying to tell you and create fear about the market crashing next month. All right, just it's not happening. It's no way. How can it happen when nothing matters to this market? Fundamental factors are thrown out the window here. Economic news, it's all fake. It doesn't matter anymore. The market's been promised oceans of easy money. Oceans of it. You tell me how anything could possibly get in the way. Does it make sense to you? And I want to hear from you. Do you believe that next month the market's really going to crash because so-and-so said so? And they've been wrong 100% of the time. I want you to think about it. These people who are pointing at a specific month or a specific date, not one time ever have they been right. I mean, look, I'm not right 100% of the time. I've been wrong many, many, many times. But if you look at our record, this community, I mean, to say the least, that we've shredded this to pieces here. We've nailed it to the wall. So when you hear that again, people, I want you to just ignore it. I'm not, just ignore it. It's not going to happen. It's the same thing we've been hearing over and over again. So just freaking ignore it. All right, look, this guy loves all you people from the heart. I mean, I really sincerely hope you got something out of this video. And if you did, let me know. Hey, Greg, you know what? Makes sense to me. Oh, Greg, no, you're way off base. Whatever it is, what helps this channel here, honestly, is comments and obviously those thumbs up. And I'm asking you got something out of here? Those thumbs up are fantastic here. If you got something out of the video or not, place a comment here. The comments, good, bad, or indifferent, help the channel. It really helps. This is our thing, man. So write anything. You know what I mean? So put whatever you like down. Okay. With that said, people, look, enjoy the rest of your day. Honestly, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Me, I'm actually off to Lido Beach. Right after this, I'm going to go, I love the beach. I'm a beach guy, believe it or not. So I'm going to go check out the beach and go hang out for a little bit. All right. That's it, people. I will see all of you in the morning. Love you with all I got, and I mean that with all I got. So until we meet again, what am I going to tell you? Take care of yourselves and each other, right?